Hello everyone, this is Breathing Crescent back with another video in the fantasy genre, and today we are talking about the anime big three: Dragon Ball, Bleach, and Naruto. Yes, Bleach is on there. So one thing I'd like to talk about that I noticed is one thing Dragon Ball did best was training their main character Goku, rather than Naruto and Ichigo, who got training, but it's not typically training. It's like, I'll teach you how to control your power, but they didn't know single thing about fighting or fine fighting, and everybody tried to control that wild power within themselves rather than actually training the person. But in Dragon Ball, Goku gets the training in martial art. He gets the training how he gets to know how to fight. He gets to understand that how to control and how to actually throw a punch. So from Master Roshin, who is a legit martial artist, think about it. If Ichigo, like the way when Ichigo was trained in the first of anime in the Soul Society arc by Urahara, who just taught him how to be a Soul Reaper and a Hollow at the same time, like he knew that Ichigo must have had it, so let's bring it out. And he just let the sword train to old man Zangetsu, who didn't know anything about sword. And as well as Naruto, everybody trained him how to control Kurama and his poor chakra control, and that's all. So think about in a world where Naruto actually learns that he had wind chakra early on and works on it. Like I have seen Danzo in his fight with Sasuke. He has shown a plethora of techniques with wind chakra alone, and that makes Naruto one trick pony. Like he knows Rasengan. I mean, I understand he mastered Sage Mode, and he's king of pet talk. But what else? Naruto does not have a perfect stealth. Obviously, he actually takes his training better. Which Jiraiya should have taught him better jutsus. He knew that Naruto could not handle genjutsu early on, but didn't mean Naruto couldn't understand how to fight. So that's what needed better. Like Naruto needed a physical training in the proper way because he excels in hand-to-hand combat. Like they could have paired him with Might Guy or with Lee. And then when he turned 16-year-old, or after Jiraiya and Naruto returned to the village, Naruto should have learned genjutsu back at that point. So I would rather, and also they should have told him at that point. When they get back, they should have told Naruto that he was the son of fourth Hokage. Like literally, nobody knew, but he was the son of fourth Hokage. That should have that would carry a better tone than Naruto jiggling with everything while being the bright person he is. Like Karin described, he's the sun. And he's so bright, despite Kurama at that point being a dark manifestation of emotions that Karin perceived. And in case of Bleach, okay, so Ichigo was good at throwing hands and legs because he was a delinquent, and but he never learned anything. Like literally, he was dragged in his fights. Like Rukia suddenly appeared, and since Ichigo was physically very powerful, thanks to his lineage and maybe thanks to White, and as well as his rough childhood, so he got that power in him, but to swing a sword. But swinging doesn't mean fighting. Actually, that's why Ichigo was constantly bested. So I do understand, like, there is a argument that Kenpachi Zaraki was also the person who used to throw his sword along the way, and so did Renji. But they are soul reapers. They had experience that Ichigo never had. Plus, Renji became a vice captain of a squad, although he was, too much of a lackluster at that point. But still, he was, and for Kenpachi Zaraki, he was conditioned, like literally in a battlefield. He fought and fought and fought, and that man lived to wield the blade, literally. But for Ichigo, I understand he was rash, but Ichigo should have learned the way of sword as well. At least a heavy sword. Like somebody should have taught him that. And when he also got that he got his full powers unlocked when Old Man Zangetsu left. That point he should have learned the sword as well, or he could have learned better techniques, like not always needing the blade. that Ichigo relied on that giant hacking blade, and he swung it around, and he knew he had more power than the other people because everybody told him that. And he had this confidence which skyrocketed. But he never actually truly learned anything apart from swinging a sword. Yes, he learned how to control his powers, but not a very well done way. Because when everything was at stake, Ishin Kurosaki should have stepped in. Like, as a mentor, I mean, he could have been a masked person working under Urahara, training Ichigo. I mean, that would be the best, character development Ichigo would have gotten. And yeah, I mean, Ishin could have let Ichigo face his hurdles alone, but the training part should have come there. So I guess so. Those two guys should have trained better. Like, not everybody gets to One Punch Man's universe, and where Saitama just punches a person and poof, gone. So, but in their universes, in the Naruto and the Bleach universe, people are good fighters. There are martial artists, there are ninjas, there are weapon masters. But our main characters are literally a one-trick pony. At least it'll feel like that. Like, when we have seen Quincy's using different weapons, and what is told that Ichigo still retained his Quincy power. So Ichigo should have made his Shihakusho a blend of Quincy and hollow powers. That would have been cool, and he could have used a shorter blade from the start, and then in the Bankai he could have gotten the blade he got at the final stage. Same with Naruto. Naruto's fighting style would have been very, very, very diverse. But think about that. Naruto, he was a quick learner, but just never gotten the chance to showcase his true potential. So, what's on your take? Let me know in the comments, and which of the big three you enjoyed the most. And have you guys ever gone through the manga? Let me know in the comments. Also, whether you have noticed that anime changed Indra's Mangekyo Sharingan. So, yeah, this is only the people who went through the manga would relate to. Let me know in the comments. Till then,